Your dog might be more anxious than you think, and the worst part is, you might be the one causing it without realizing it. It's not about big mistakes. It's the small, everyday habits that seem harmless. Want the truth? There are 15 things you do every day that spike their anxiety. In this video, you'll learn how to spot them and fix them so your dog can live a calmer, happier life. Mistake number 1. Ignoring your dog's body language. Many owners believe their dogs are fine when they have actually been saying the opposite for a while. A repeated yawn, even when they're not sleepy, lip licking when there's no food around, or a tail tucked between the legs are clear signs of discomfort. Did you know that many behaviors later labeled as bad behavior actually start with these small warnings that go unnoticed? When you ignore these signals, your dog's anxiety builds up until it explodes as destructive chewing, barking, or even aggression. Your dog has been trying to talk to you for a long time, but if you do not understand their language, it is like turning your back on them. Learning to read their body language is the key to stopping the problem before it escalates. And if reading their body language is key, giving them security through routine is just as important. Mistake number 2. Changing routines suddenly. Dogs truly love routine. Knowing when they will eat, when they will go for a walk, and when they will rest is part of the safety they feel day to day. When you suddenly change schedules, even if it seems minor to you, for them it is a huge shift. Imagine one day dinner is at 5 p.m., another day at 8 p.m., and another day you don't even know if it will happen. Wouldn't you feel uneasy? That is exactly what happens to your dog. Unpredictable walks or off-schedule meals make them feel like their basic needs might not be met, and that uncertainty generates anxiety. They do not understand that you have a new work schedule or that you got distracted. They only feel insecure. The solution is to keep stable schedules and, if you need to change them, do it gradually. And if routine is essential, the next point matters even more. Mistake number 3. Skipping daily exercise. A dog without enough physical activity is like a pressure cooker ready to blow. All that energy they do not release builds up in their body and ends up coming out as destructive behavior, barking, or what many call anxiety. But it is not pure anxiety, it is pent-up energy. Have you noticed that after a long walk your dog settles down and relaxes? It's no coincidence. Exercise helps release stress hormones, reduces tension, and calms the mind. A physically tired dog is a more balanced dog. When they do not have that natural outlet, their mind races and they become hyper-vigilant, alert to every noise or movement. The solution is as simple as giving them exercise suited to their age and breed. It can be long walks, fetch games, agility courses, or hiking. Movement is medicine. And speaking of health, even your home's lighting can make a difference. Mistake number 4. Leaving the house completely dark. Leaving your dog in total darkness might seem fine, but for many it is a huge source of anxiety. It is true they see better than we do in low light, but complete darkness amplifies sounds, triggers fears, and turns a familiar place into something strange. What could have been a quiet night becomes hours of restlessness and hypervigilance. Something as simple as leaving a small light on can be the difference between a relaxed dog and one who spends the night uneasy. And if light matters more than it seems, let's talk about something even more important. Mistake number 5. Using strong household cleaners. What smells clean to you can be unbearable for your dog. They have more than 300 million scent receptors, and their nose picks up odors with an intensity we cannot imagine. Think about how bleach smells to you. Now multiply that by 50. Do you see why it can be so stressful for them? When you use cleaners with ammonia or harsh chemicals, your dog starts to associate their own home with discomfort. What should be a safe refuge becomes an uncomfortable place. Over time, a simple cleaning habit ends up affecting their well-being. The good news is, there are much safer alternatives, like vinegar, baking soda, or enzyme-based cleaners. They keep your home just as clean, and your dog does not live with that sensory overload. And if we are talking about safety, there is something even more basic. I will tell you in the next section. Mistake number 6. Not giving them a safe zone. By instinct, dogs look for a space that is just theirs, a spot to relax, escape noise, and feel protected. The problem is, when they do not have it, they live on high alert. Have you noticed some dogs get much more nervous during storms or when guests are over? It is because they have nowhere to retreat. Without a place to withdraw, they feel exposed and out of control, which increases anxiety. Even the most confident dogs need a corner to unplug from the world when everything is too much. It can be a bed in a quiet corner or a crate where they know no one will bother them. The interesting thing is that when you give them their own space, they end up feeling more secure and confident outside of it. And speaking of confidence, the next section covers something that breaks it quickly. Mistake number 7. Forcing unwanted interactions. Pushing your dog to greet strangers or other dogs does not make them more social, it makes them less secure. It is like forcing a shy person to speak in front of a crowd. Do you think that will give them confidence? On the contrary, it only creates more anxiety. Every time your dog is forced to interact, they record that experience as negative. And next time, they will be more worried, not more confident. When you respect their limits, the opposite happens. They feel safe, and little by little they choose to approach on their own. The key is to give them control and reward calm behavior around other dogs. Let your dog decide when and how to interact. With patience, interactions become positive and natural. And although social relationships are key, there is another mistake that greatly increases their anxiety. Mistake number 8. Many hours alone without stimulation. Many owners think that if they leave their dog alone for 8 or 9 hours, they will sleep the whole time. But dogs are social animals, and prolonged solitude with nothing to do becomes a mix of boredom and anxiety. What happens then? Their mind starts spinning. They start thinking, when will my human be back? What if they're not coming back? From there come behaviors like pacing around the house, staring out the window, or even non-stop barking. Lack of mental stimulation combined with isolation is one of the fastest ways to end up with an anxious dog. The solution is to break up that long wait. You can use interactive toys that release treats, puzzle feeders, or hire a dog walker to split the day. Now let's look at another problem that happens more than you think. Mistake number 9. Not socializing gradually. Many people think that to socialize a shy dog, it is enough to take them to a crowded dog park. But that is the perfect recipe for things to go wrong. Imagine being dropped without warning into a room with 50 strangers all talking to you at once. Would you relax? Probably not. When a dog is suddenly surrounded by several excited dogs, their brain files that memory as a traumatic episode. The result is more fear and less confidence going forward. Socialization works, but only if it is done little by little. Plan calm, one-on-one meetings at some distance, and only get closer when the dog looks comfortable. That gradual exposure builds confidence, while overload creates anxiety. Mistake number 10. Skipping mental stimulation. A dog who is physically tired can still be anxious if their mind has not worked enough. Long walks are great, but they are not everything. Without mental challenges, your dog will find their own entertainment, and that usually means chewing furniture, raiding the trash, or digging up the yard. The good news is that stimulating their mind is simple. Scent games, puzzle feeders, short training sessions, or hiding treats around the house turn their time into learning and fun. These activities tire them out more than you think. 10 minutes of brain games can equal a 30-minute walk. And best of all, they reduce anxiety by giving your dog a clear goal. Even the best game or walk won't help if you don't take care of what I'm going to cover next. Mistake number 11. Neglecting quality sleep. Sleeping well isn't a luxury. It's a vital need for your dog. Just like us, they need long, uninterrupted cycles to process stress and reset their nervous system. When sleep is interrupted over and over, anxiety builds up. Have you noticed that a tired dog reacts more to noises, startles easily, or seems more irritable? It's not a coincidence. Lack of quality rest keeps their brain from regulating emotions properly. This is why you should give them a quiet, comfortable, interruption-free space away from the household hustle. A place where no one bothers them and they can sleep soundly. Quality sleep is the foundation of a calmer dog. If sleep is a natural calmer, play can be too, as long as you avoid the next mistake. Mistake number 12. Overstimulating during play. Play is essential for your dog, but too much can be as harmful as too little. Many people think the more excited they get, the more fun they're having. The truth is, crossing that thin line turns fun into stress. When a dog gets over-aroused, their nervous system stays revved up and they cannot settle afterward. Instead of ending tired and satisfied, they stay anxious and restless, with adrenaline still surging. The key is to keep play sessions controlled, with a clear beginning and end, and always stop before they are out of control. Balanced play releases energy, strengthens your bond, and calms the mind, while chaotic play creates more stress than it relieves. And now, before we move on, just know that if you visit happydogsplace.com/gift, you can download a free guide packed with tips to make your dog's life even happier. It's full of fun ideas, helpful strategies, and all the basics every pup needs to thrive. You'll find the link in the description. Mistake number 13. Scolding, often without teaching the right behavior. Constantly saying no to your dog doesn't teach them anything. If your dog jumps, nips, or barks and only gets corrections, they end up not knowing what to do instead. How would you react if all you heard were criticisms and no one ever explained what is right? Exactly, you'd lose the motivation to try. The same happens to them. They feel confused and insecure, and they end up anxious. The key isn't to scold less, it's to guide more. If they jump, teach a sit and reward that behavior. If they chew a shoe, offer their toy and celebrate when they use it. Showing the alternative turns frustration into learning. And most importantly, it restores your dog's confidence. Speaking of confidence, there is something that breaks it in seconds. I will explain it in the next section. Mistake number 14. Ignoring noise sensitivity. Dogs hear much more than we do, and what is just background noise to you can be a major anxiety trigger for them. Thunder, fireworks, or even street construction keep them on edge because they cannot predict when the next boom will happen. It is normal to see dogs tremble or hide at those times. What they feel is pure fear. If they do not have a refuge where they feel protected, their anxiety only grows. This is why it is so important to prepare a calm, protected space. You can add blankets to dampen sounds or play white noise to mask loud sounds. We cannot control the outside world, but we can give them a place where they feel safe. Mistake number 15. Not enough physical affection. Physical contact is much more than a sweet gesture. It is an emotional need. Gently petting your dog releases hormones that reduce stress and strengthen your bond. When this contact is missing, some dogs become more insecure and anxious because they feel their connection with you is getting weaker. Isn't it amazing that something as simple as a gentle touch can have so much power? It's not about hugging them non-stop, it's about small daily moments. You can do a slow stroke behind the ears, a soft belly massage when they are relaxed, or simply rest your hand on their back when they are lying down. That contact communicates calm and safety. Many anxious dogs simply need more physical closeness to feel protected. These 15 mistakes make it clear that small habits can be the difference between a nervous dog and a balanced dog. Now I recommend watching the next video on screen. In it I explain the 7 mistakes you make every time you feed your dog. Tap the image to open the video and learn all of them.